Hey, hi guys, welcome back. All right, so Libras, here we go. So, Libras, in honor of the upcoming full moon, which is also a massive super moon. This is going to be our biggest, closest. It's the first of three consecutive super moons, but this one's going to look real big and it's going to amplify and heighten all kinds of intuition. And so, with this full moon, it's also the harvest moon. And it's something that's a little bit unusual about the harvest moon is that it rises at the approximately the same time for 3 nights in a row. And so our ancestors used to look forward to that because it gave them a little bit more light to complete doing their harvests before the first frost came along. So this is kind of an important moon for the moonlight. But then this also right now happens to be falling on us upon, as also a super moon. So the closest the moon will be to Earth. So it's going to be really visible, really bright. So because of all that, we're going to take a look at the message of what is that powerful intuition bringing to the surface. We have invocation, ritual. This could be that somebody is like actually getting some truths that come up from their subconscious, from their instinct, the things that have been needing to be like spoken. I almost feel like if there is like somebody's name, if Libra is realizing that they have been thinking about someone, like trying to invoke that someone or that something into their life, that might become really obvious to them. Or if they have like a little, we all have our routines, our rituals, if you want to call it that. Mine is every single morning. Aries is the first person that I actually kiss, because he like makes it that way. And then of course it's immediately like, after the greetings of the morning have passed by, then it's coffee time. That's like the way my household begins. But we have a King of Wands upright. I'm just thinking that if Libra has had like something that they think about or a thing that they do repetitiously, I think that they're realizing if there's somebody who's like the first person that I think of in the day, or the first thing that I do, or something that whatever. If I say my prayers at night and I put someone's name into that prayer, and I'm always realizing that I do that. It's more like, well, that's because that's what I'm actually saying is important to me. The thing that I do on repeat, I'm realizing is something that maybe has been kind of scorched into my heart. So this could be. Now, let's put it this way. Sometimes we also start to have routines, patterns that we need to break. So we do have this griffin, and we have, the griffin, granted, is a mythical creature, but he has wings and he can fly away. So right now we could look at it as two different things. It could be that Libra has been preparing themselves to detach from something, and that's why it's been, like they've been practicing for a departure from something, or they're realizing no matter what else has happened in my life, there is this one person that is a touchstone for me. There is one person's name that's still important to me. This is somebody who is a part of my heart and always will be. It feels like that is the deep intuition just showing up, and it's like, okay, there is somebody really special. We have the devil sideways. I kind of think that this is almost Libra saying maybe, one one thing that I think happens oftentimes is that we can get into our head about something, but we imagine that we're saying, yeah, that person was such a jerk, and if we think of them, it's like, oh yeah, but they were such a jerk. And then slowly but surely we go, actually, the only reason they made such an impact, the only reason that they're still on the tip of my mind, the tip of my tongue, is because it wasn't so toxic. It's that there was love there. And that's, maybe there were lots of problems, maybe there were things that weren't right, but there was also something real that my heart is now acknowledging. Instead of vilifying a past ex or something, honestly, maybe we weren't great together, but I loved them, and that I'm acknowledging now. Something that I do on repetition, someone that I think of about repetitiously, honestly, it's because they were such an important part of my life's journey. You have the Hermit. I don't know if this is Libra going to be like actually pausing and saying, instead of trying to leave this thought in the dust, which obviously I haven't been doing that great anyway, maybe I should realize this has been an important part of my tree of life. Maybe that's what this big journey has been about. Now, let me remind everybody that this story could go the opposite direction. This could not be Libra. This could be somebody else, and they're thinking about Libra, and they've had like Libra's name has been a chant in their mind every waking hour, every night, every day, and this could have gone on and on and on. And they're realizing everything else in my life comes and goes, but what remains is Libra's name on my lips. And for the longest time, I was mad. I told myself they were toxic. I told myself I didn't like Libra. But honestly, what I'm realizing is after all this time, Libra is still so important to me. And maybe this is what I've been on this, dark night of the soul journey coming to realize is that Libra is always still going to be so important to me. They're maybe one of the most important loves I've ever had. By the way, the reason I'm veering off and saying maybe this is actually the story for someone else who's thinking all this about Libra during this full moon is simply because we don't have Libra here at all. We have Virgo, we have Capricorn, and we have Aries, Leo, and Sag. We have no Libra in this. And we don't even have any air in this. So I'm more inclined, and I think I'm going to title this video this way, that this is somebody who thinks about Libra. And I think that they like, I'm hearing the song by Kate Bush, Wuthering Heights. The how could you leave me when I needed to possess you? I needed you. I hated you. I loved you too. Heathcliff, it's me, it's Kathy. I've come home and I'm so cold. It's, it is a story about that book, Wuthering Heights, and passion and intensity and, the desire, but also anger, toward one that you love. All of that seems like there was so much emotion, right? The devil doesn't have to be toxic and horrible and evil and bad. It is intensity though. And just like anything, fire is great. Fire is warm. Fire cooks our food for us, but you also don't want to put your hand in a fire, you get burned. So something that can be wonderful can also certainly cause pain, just like love. Love can be wonderful, but it can also burn. And unchecked desire and passion, although desire and passion for one that we love is great, we can also go over the top, and then it's jealousy and it's anger because we feel unhappy with what we're receiving in return. So I'm wondering if we have somebody who is starting to recognize if they were angry at Libra, they're also realizing, but mostly it's that I loved Libra so much, my heart still does. It's like the raging fire is settling down and is being replaced by warmth from the heart space and this acknowledgement that, but wait a minute, I wouldn't have wanted to live my life without having met this Libra. Yes, there was all kinds of pain and hurt, but I hated you, but I also loved you. And now it's more giving way to this deep understanding that I wouldn't have felt so strongly if I hadn't actually had so much, you had such an impact on my heart and my life. We have a 6 of Wands upright. Actually, this person feels happy now. They're shifting during this full moon. They're shifting to actually saying, my God, I'm so glad that I had Libra in my life. As messy as this whole thing was, I'm so glad because I loved them. And this dark night of the soul has brought me full circle back around to realizing, but I loved this Libra. Temperance. They're so at peace with the fact that they knew Libra at all. Look, I don't know if this is somebody who's like now intending that they want to be back in Libra's life, but it does say, and by the way, we still have no Libra anywhere in this. So we're going to go ahead and just solidify that this message is more for somebody else, not for Libra. I'll try to still pull a card just for Libra at the end though. I didn't know this one was going to I feel like I say this all the time in the Libra videos. There's always like these weird interwoven threads in our Libra stories where I can never tell which is which. With that temperance, this is somebody who's in a place of great peace now. This is somebody who's just glad that they ever met Libra at all. By the way, they could be a strong Sag. 4 of Wands and Justice. This is somebody who's, look, it almost feels like they're saying, I'll always still love Libra. Libra's the one I wish I had married. I'm glad I spent any time in their life at all for that moment. I don't know. They might have told Libra that they wanted to marry Libra. They may, this is Libra right here. They maybe are even understanding in that, that deep instinctual energy that's coming to the surface. I never would have been so stressed, so frustrated if this hadn't been the most important connection of my life. And while I didn't treat my Libra the way I should have, since they were the person I most wanted to be with, at least I finally understand. I'm glad I met them regardless of what happened. I'm glad that I got a chance to love them at all. I don't know though. This looks like this person still feels like I'm in love with Libra. Libra's still the one that I want to marry. I don't know that they think it's possible at this point, but all of the sourness, all the pain, all of the, whatever else happened between themselves and Libra, that's all kind of faded in the background. And what's coming to the surface is, but I loved them. I love this Libra. Always did, always will. That's the best part of them too. I almost think this person has become a better person because they loved Libra. And maybe that's why Libra's name is still like in their heart. I feel like it's somebody who, oh gosh, I'm sorry, there's a song that's trying to get into my head where it's got this rhythmic, like chant to it. And I can't think of what it is, but it is definitely like I feel like their thoughts of Libra were on a loop, or Libra's name was something that they would chant through their heart or their mind, not say it out loud maybe, but it's a song that is somebody's name that I'm thinking of. And I can't for the life of me think of what it is. It keeps eluding me. It comes in and it leaves again. I think it's a man singing it, and it's a woman's name, but they say the name again and again and again and again in the refrain. I can't think of what it is. Sorry, everybody. For Libra, what is the deep instinctual message coming up during this supermoon for Libra? It says the Hanged Man. Libra, okay, now we are just going to keep it in Libra's category. Libra's having a deep awareness that there has been a delay, that something was put on ice. Magician, 2 major arcana. Libra's starting to realize just how freaking powerful they are, and that a delay in their life hasn't been a bad thing. It's been a necessary opportunity to collect and gather the energy. You notice how this person has like energy in their palms here, and it's almost taking the shape of like a ball of plasma, or what looks kind of like the moon glowing. This supermoon could find Libra feeling incredibly like energized. They could start to feel like many things are coming together all at once. This could be something visible, like Libra's been putting together their like a room in their house, and it's like, wow, all the colors are just right. All the, I finally got the perfect placement for some wall art, along with, it matches, it gives that pop of color next to the couch. This could also be Libra's putting together like a recipe, or putting together some kind of, it could also be somebody's making a collage of things, but it's like their ideas, their thoughts, what they want to manifest, it's all coming together. So I feel like this is more about ideas, but it could also be they're getting, okay, I'll use me as an example just because I've been moving in, and there have been so many different, like different workers who I've had to hire to come in and do different things. There have been so many different people that I've needed to contact. There have been so many different elements that I've needed because I'm moving into a new location, and, everything is, the formatting is different. Everything's different. So when everything gets, you make that phone call and that person's scheduled, and you get that and that's scheduled, and everything comes together, you go, oh, wow, look at that. I just manifested the move, the change. I'm just using that as an example because it could be something like this where Libra has, without knowing it, they have put out and planted seeds here, 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 and here, and now everything is growing at once, and we're getting like the whole cornucopia of what Libra needs, or their ideas are coming together. But it's all so that they feel very empowered and they can manifest exactly what it is that they want. We have a 3 of Cups for Libra. Is Libra about to reconnect with this very same person from the past? The 3 of Cups can be reunion, can be union. We have 3 of Pentacles. We keep seeing people coming together. So it is very possible that Libra is sensing deep down that this day was always going to come, that they were going to reconnect to somebody from their past where there was great distress and great upheaval. But it could also be that Libra has always known that they would start being able to manifest like smoother relationships as a whole, and not just with that person, but let's say with colleagues. It's like Libra might suddenly start to be able to manifest the job that they want, the work, schedule that they want. It just feels like everything is about to click into place because Libra is realizing it was about divine timing, but it was also about them getting into a place where they could see the future that they wanted and genuinely manifest it happening. I do think Libra has love on the mind. Must be love on the brain. Little Rihanna's coming in. We have 2 of Wands. We have 4 of Wands. I don't know who's going to reach out to whom, but we definitely see, we have the 4 of Wands coming out twice. Once for this individual who's been in love with Libra all this time and now knows it unequivocally, even though for a while they were very upset with Libra. But in truth, they have loved Libra truly, madly, deeply. They think the world of Libra. We don't see where all the problems were. That's not what this storyline is about. This story is just about what's the instinct bringing up. What's the thing that's been hidden in plain sight that now cannot be hidden any longer during this supermoon? And it kind of says, I think Libra knows as well that they're ready for partnership and union. Is it with them? It's very possible. But I also think Libra is saying, if I never hear from that person again, there will be someone else, but I'm realizing I am ready for partnership. Maybe that's why we had 2 3s, because it's like Libra might be understanding that for them, if they are meant to be with that person of their past, that person of their past will probably gravitate into their life. And if not, then it'll be that Libra goes, that's because I had to get to the right point in my life before I was ready for, real partnership. And I am now. I understand that I'll be choosing a life mate soon. Not like on the full moon, but like this is the next chapter opening up for Libra's life. They're aware that this is the time that they're ready now to meet a very serious individual that they will have as a 4 of Wands in their life. Almost like Libra's just now in a place where they would be ready for long-term commitment. I wonder, was Libra not ready before? Is that part of what was frustrating for this person who's been in love with Libra all this time? Is that Libra wasn't ready for them and it hurt them? That could be part of the story here. But I don't know about that. I don't know that I would go that far. We didn't see all the problems that were there. Do we have one last message on this universe? Anything for Libra specifically during this full moon? The moon. Everything's going to look a lot different. Look for the thing that is different, that what's transformed. Libra, what things look different, feel different, sound different. We see butterfly goggles on, and it's kind of cool that I asked the universe, what's the message for Libra during this supermoon? And the universe is like, the moon, put on your moon goggles, do some moon gazing. 10 of Pentacles. What's different is the way Libra looks at life. I think this Libra is wanting partnership, and I think that the way they're going to interact with people is different now. They want to collaborate more. I think that an era of Libra being more single, more independent is coming to a close, and the time for building powerful bonds, relationships, and perhaps a long-term romance and relationship and like living together, really being together, that's what's coming next. This is the right time now. Okay, big changes for our Libra. Okay, I'm going to leave this here, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.